Hey YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching this video from. Okay Farmer here. It's really hot. Just got in from taking the header off the combine, cleaning it up, getting ready to put it away. Put some new blades on the mower, did a little mowing. It's hot. And that's good sweet tea. I say YouTube and Facebook. I haven't had a YouTube channel very long. There's really not a lot out there. Okay Farmer's my handle. Give me a subscribe, a thumbs up, if you're into that sort of thing. There's a geothermal aquapini video. It's about a geothermal greenhouse, and it is out there. There's several episodes, so check it out. There's also a few other things out there, but not a lot. Tonight's video is a continuation of a video we shot a few nights ago regarding gun control, and it was basically a little bit of gun education and what the different types of guns were and what a lot of this discussion's about. And we talked about, and I've got some of the guns here, a wooden stock, just a regular rifle, semi-automatic rifle, and how that, you know, they can have 5, 10, 20, 30 round magazines, and that a rifle like this one here is the exact same model as the wooden one up there. It just has a plastic stock, a polymer stock on it, and gives it some options for mounting some things. And then we went on and we talked about the AR-15 that the guy that went in and shot the club in Orlando up, the gun that he used, and the differences. And there's really not any differences. An AR is just a semi-automatic rifle. It happens to be black. It happens to, and you can get them in olive drab and camo, and it does have some features other rifles do not have, but really, as far as functionality, it's a semi-automatic rifle that civilians own, and it can hold 5, 10, 20, 30 round magazine. So my question to everyone was, how do you control this gun and not control this gun? This gun's just a hunting rifle, pretty basic, and this gun's a semi-automatic rifle. And remember, semi-automatic means I pull the trigger one time, the action of the gun functions, loads another round, and then I have to pull another trigger again. So each time I pull the trigger, I get a projectile down the barrel. Somebody commented about me calling the guns weapons, or rifles weapons. They are weapons. In training people and training people to shoot, I've taught a lot of different people to shoot handguns and rifles and different weapons. I call them weapons because that's what it is, and they're dangerous. And so to make it benign, or a little more G-rated or not so offensive as to call it a weapon, or to just dumb it down to a rifle, I'm not going to do that, and I just automatically call them weapons anyway, and that's what they are. Whether it's for self-defense or for hunting, that's what it is. So anyway, a new term in the media today, yesterday, is this is a military grade weapon. And what is a military grade weapon? Well, the military is not even using the AR. They've moved on to a platform called the M4, which there's a lot of interchangeable parts between the AR and the M4. But the M4 is light years ahead of this gun. It's much lighter, and I want to back up and say I am no military gun expert. I've got friends on Facebook that are currently enlisted or reserves or retired, and if you could set me straight or want to add some facts to that, jump right in on the comments. But the M4 platform has, I know it's a higher rate of fire, it's lighter, it's just got some other functionality and capability that this gun does not have. This gun, the AR, is a civilian version, Armalite is where the AR comes from, is the company that originally made the design. This gun, M16, everybody knows the term M16. That's the military version of this gun, and it was introduced in the late 50s, 60s, Vietnam. So the AR is not new. It's not anything that just came out and everyone's crazed over having one. This gun's been around for 50, 60 years. Is it a military grade weapon? Well, it was in 1960, 1959. But by today's standards, I don't think so. It's a great weapon, but the military has moved on. So I thought that was interesting that they're calling this a military grade weapon. And along those lines, again, it's not the weapon, it's the man pulling the trigger, I believe, is the issue in our country. And I believe that the Second Amendment gives me the right to own an M4 if I want to go get one. That's nearly impossible to do, but because of restrictions and gun control that we already have. So I want to say that, and you say we already have gun control, Brian? Absolutely. There's been a few things in the media today about some reporters that went out and tried to buy guns and went to gun shops, and they went through the process and they documented the process of purchasing a firearm. And one reporter actually failed. He had a domestic violence or domestic dispute in his background check that came up, and the gun store wouldn't sell him the weapon. So you know, to say we don't have gun control in this country is a huge misstatement. Every weapon I own that I purchased at a gun shop had a background check run on me. I have a form I got to fill out. They want to know if I'm a citizen. They want to know if I'm a felon. They want to know if I'm currently involved in any court hearings. Have I had a assault and battery? Am I involved in a domestic dispute? My citizen, my country of origin, all these questions. And if I answer yes to many of those negative ones, you don't get the weapon. Once all that's answered, the gun store owner peruses that form, and they call in your information to what would be an NCIC type lookup, and then he gets an authorization back to sell me the weapon. So to say we don't have gun control in this country and we don't have background checks, that is not true. We do. I've been in the gun store when a call-in went bad and the gun shop owner didn't get the confirmation back and watched the person walk out without their weapon. So we already have some great restrictions in place. And gun shows, in the media they talk about how gun shows are illegal gun grabs or buys. Everyone on the floor at a gun show has to do that exact same form, and they have to call in and they have to get the confirmation number, and all these guys are audited by the ATF, and they're audited on a regular basis. These ATF guys come in, surprise inspection. I want to see your store, I want to see your guns, I want to see your paperwork, and the store pretty much just has to shut down for 3 or 4 days until they're done. And to me, and I'm not a gun shop owner, but it looks to me like the system is working. The term straw purchaser has been in the media, and that's someone sending someone else to purchase a weapon for them. That's gonna go on. I don't know of any way to control that unless you just quit selling weapons altogether, which I'm 100% against. So straw purchasers are going to be out there. Can I sell this weapon to my neighbor down the road and not go through a transfer? Absolutely I can. But if my neighbor goes and shoots up someplace and leaves the gun, or they shoot him and get the gun and it's registered to me, I'm going to be on the hook for at least a lot of questions and could be in a little bit of trouble. The responsible thing to do to transfer this weapon is go through that same form and have that same gun shop owner help me for, I think it's $10. I could be wrong on that. Tisha, if you're watching, correct me on that. But I can transfer a weapon to someone else in ownership. So anyway, on background checks and gun control, there's the facts that I know on that. And do I know of a way to stop straw purchases or straw purchasers? No, but gosh, they're out there in every industry. There's people that, you know, can't own other things in this nation, and they just go get someone to buy it for them and own it anyway. So, and not talking about guns. That's probably the most of what I wanted to cover tonight. One more little thing is, someone had a discussion with me that there's it's the capacity of this weapon that makes it an assault weapon. He said, Brian, it's totally clear it's the capacity. It's the 20 and the 30 rounds that we're talking about. And I get that. I understand that is a bit of an issue, but I have concerns in that standard Glock semi-automatic pistol, I can get this pistol, I can get magazines for this pistol with 20 and 30 rounds. So if it's the fact that it holds 20 or 30 rounds that makes it an assault weapon, then is this an assault weapon? Where do we stop? Shotguns can have drum magazines that hold 30 rounds or 70 rounds or 100 rounds. So you're gonna take shotguns away, semi-automatic shotguns? I see no end to this discussion, and there's really no end to the logic. And when you start down this road, I don't see anywhere to put the brakes on. And again, it's not the weapon, it's the heart of the guy with the weapon in his hand and wanting to do ill intent and bad things to other people, take things from people, their life, take their property. And that's the issue. And no one's talking about it. No one's talking about how are we going to isolate these people that want to do bad things. No one's talking about I had another friend discuss with me that it's a mental health issue, and I agree it is a mental health issue, but I don't want to dumb this down to that. That's taking the short route around this. If this was purely a mental health issue, the guy that shot up the club in Orlando would have got on the phone with the dispatcher and yelled peanut butter and jelly. He didn't. He got on with the dispatcher, and in Arabic he praises God, Allah. So it's not just mental health. We've got a real problem in this country with religion and religious values, and it became uncool to be Christian, and it became cool to be every other religion out there in this country, and there's some things gotten misconstrued about what this country was based and founded on, and we've just headed down a road since the 1960s that's got us in a really bad spot. And our problem is an ISIS problem, or any other religion that wants to come and saturate our country and take control of our country and introduce something new, a new form of control into our country. That's the problem here, not weapons, not guns. You know, there's been guys here in Oklahoma, some guy walked into a manufacturing facility and chopped off the head of a coworker. In the news in the last couple of years, a couple of guys chopped off the head of somebody with a samurai sword, just walked up and did it. So it's not the guns, it's the heart of the man, and there's some real bad people running around our country. They hate us, they hate what we stand for, and they hate what we've done to their country. As a nation, we're meddling in some stuff off our soil that's got these guys pretty torqued off, and you know, if another country was doing it to us, we may be too. I don't know. We've instigated some of this maybe, but we have to identify them, and we have to not put guns in their hands. And maybe they shouldn't be here. Maybe they shouldn't have ever gotten here in the first place. Those are all other huge discussions and other videos probably, but taking away guns from law-abiding American citizens because of all this other stuff that's going on is just stupid. it's our right to own a gun. It's our Second Amendment right to own a gun, and taking away our right to defend ourselves from someone that wants to take my liberty, take my property, take my life, take my family's life, take my friends' lives, taking away my ability to defend myself in those situations is not the answer to stopping what's going on. It's just not, that's not the answer. So anyway, that's all I've got for tonight. Thank you.